When my wife got pregnant, she became less and less attractive. She lost her beauty. I know that is a very disrespectful statement to say about my wife, but it's the truth. She lost her beauty, especially to me. I know you want to judge me. I know you're already judging me, but it's okay, it's fine. She's still my wife anyway. So we were expecting our first child. We were very grateful to God for, blessing the womb of my wife, and we were now expecting our kid. We had been married 2 years, and we were very excited on the prospects of raising a beautiful family and enjoying the entire marriage thing. What I did not really expect that with the pregnancy my wife would really change a lot. I did not for once expect that. So it came to me with a lot of shock and anxiety and a little bit of bitterness, especially when she became fat. Her once very glowing skin became very dark, and my wife was quite figurely. She had that figure before pregnancy, but now she had a lot of belly fat. She was just a pathetic sight to me. But don't get offended at this moment. Stick with me to the end of this story. So pregnancy came with a lot of changes in our homes. My wife was constantly irritated. She was always shouting to the slightest thing, and it really got to me. I really got concerned. She would, if she was not accusing me of snoring very loudly at night, she was shouting why nimepaka blue band kwa mkate yake, yet she prefers it without blue band. Very petty things, and this got me really concerned. I felt that much as I really thanked God for the prospects of being a dad soon, this particular environment was too toxic for me. So one day something happened. I decided to get a side chick, a woman who would help me deviate from the thoughts, the bitterness that I had towards my pregnant wife. Again, I know that particular statement is very disrespectful. Deciding to have a younger side chick, and you know very well that you have an expecting wife at home. But again, stick with me to the end. So I met this lady by the name Frida at a club along Thika Road, though my wife and I used to stay at Kitengela. So we met on a Friday evening. She was a final year student from KMTC, the Kenya Medical Training Institute, and we kind of vibed, we got so close, we got so tight, we could, talk a lot, and to be very honest, the times that I spent with Frida, my then side chick, were really refreshing. She made me feel like a man again. She was never irritated. She was never shouting at me. She really gave me a break from that toxic environment that my expectant wife was giving me back at our matrimonial home. So I developed one thing. Frida, my side chick, did not know really that I'm a married man. So I really played my games very well. I decked my cards so well. I had a timetable for these two women. So during the week, I would spend time with my expecting wife and go through the hell and the mood swings that were coming with it. And when I was feeling that toxicity is getting out of hand, I would, fake a seminar or fake a conference out of town and go spend time with now my side chick Frida, and calm down and have a good time. And I had a way of planning these two women so that at no point would I really play myself into them finding out that there was something. So my good people, fast forward, I think it was the 3rd week of the 8th month of my wife's pregnancy. The labor pains began, and it only meant that I rush her to hospital so that They check her out, they admit her to the maternity, section, then prepare her for delivery. And being a very crucial point in my life as a man, or in my life as a dad to be, I had to really focus. I had to really cut on seeing my side chick Frida now and focus on, being with my wife until she delivers safely. So I was able to book her in at Ruiru Health Center along Thika Road again. She was booked in. I remember she was admitted. All the natal, the prenatal tests were done, and she was admitted into the maternity section of that particular hospital. So I used to see her during the day, spend some hours with her during the day, then go back home in Kitengela, then come back the following day. So my side chick Frida was kind of concerned why I was no longer taking her out. I was no longer spending time with her over the weekend and stuff like that. But I never lacked an excuse to her. So I just told her that her work has doubled up, and there are projects that we're working on, but definitely at some point I would get time to go see her, and she was cool with that. So I remember after around 7 days, 4 days, not 7 days, 4 days, on the 5th day now, the due delivery date for my expectant wife, I had planned to go to the hospital that evening when that was the time that she was meant, the exact time where the delivery procedure would happen. So I said I would go there at that time and be with her until such a time that our newborn baby would come to this world. So remember, it was around 2 p.m. I received a distress call from one of the nurses at Ruiru Health Center, and she was panicking on the call. She was like, "Hey Socrates, we need you here as soon as immediately. We really need you. We've got an emergency." So I'm like, what kind of emergency? Has my wife delivered safely? The nurse actually reassured me, yes, she has actually delivered safely, but we need you here as soonest possible. Then she disconnected the call. So I was kind of alarmed, scared, panicked, and all that. So I got an Uber, because then with that particular agency that the nurse asked me to go to the hospital, I wouldn't take a matatu. It would take a lot of time on the highway and traffic and all that. So I took an Uber. I ordered an Uber. Then I used the bypass connecting Thika Road and Mombasa Road, so that I would get to Ruiru Health Center in a timely manner. So during that short Uber trip from where we live to Ruiru Medicare Center, I was really like, what's happening? Is my wife okay? Is the new baby okay? What exactly is going on? Why is she not picking her calls and all that? And I kept praying and praying that, oh God, I don't know what's going on in that hospital, but it better be some good news or some normal stuff. At this point, I didn't want shockers at all in my life. So nayo tuende kaende. I think after 45 minutes we got to Ruiru Health Center, and I don't remember if I paid that particular Uber guy, because then I remember just shot out of that car and headed directly to the maternity wing of that particular health center, and all I wanted to see was my wife and my newborn baby and make sure they're okay. After which I would get to see the nurses and know what was going on. At this time, my side chick Frida is calling. She's like, "Babe, umenitupa," and all that charade. I didn't care. I didn't care at all. So when I bulged into the maternity ward, I rushed. I'd kind of known the bed that my wife had been allocated, so I ran. She was sitting crying on her bed, and she was not holding any baby. So when she saw me, she struggled to stand, and she threw herself on me. And with a very painful voice and a lot of tears in her eyes, she told me that, well, she had delivered very successfully, One of the nurses that had helped her with the delivery process had picked the newborn baby, walked out of the ward, gotten into a car that was waiting next to the gate, and drove off. And right now, or for the last 1 hour, the nurse's phone has been off. The medical doctors, the people around the hospital have tried to call her, but her phone had been switched off. In short, guys, my newborn kid had been stolen by a rogue nurse. Perhaps, for God knows what reason, my kid had been kidnapped by a nurse that same hospital. I did not buy that story, and I went completely wild. I needed answers from the authority of Ruiru Health Center. Where was my baby? Where was my newborn baby? The nurse that had picked her. Who is she? What are her records? Had the police been notified? I wanted CCTV cameras. I wanted to know where my baby was. So with that particular, now the entire hospital was aware of the situation, that actually a newborn kid had been stolen by a nurse. The nurse had gone away in a car, and now everything within Ruiru Health Center was thrown into a frenzy. Doctors were making phone calls. The police had been notified. They were on their way. My wife had cried. She had now collapsed. I was sweating, and everything was completely out of radar. Interestingly, at that point, my side chick Frida is still calling and calling and calling, and I'm like, what is wrong with this human being? She wants me to go take her out and romance with her and all those things you people do to your side chicks. Yet my new born baby has been stolen. So I said, now let me switch off my phone, because I was getting irritated. I really needed to know where this rogue nurse who had stolen my newborn had gone to. I wanted to focus. People, so at that point when I'm about to switch off my phone, I receive a text from Frida, and the text read that, "Hi honey, I wonder why you're not picking my calls, but I have good news for you. My friend and I have just been paid 3 million, and I want you to come and enjoy with us. The money, we've received it from an Indian family. So this Indian family they've been childless, and my friend, who is a nurse at Ruiru Health Center, just picked a random newborn baby and took that kid to this Indian family, and to Shalipwa 3 million right now, and I want you to come so that I spoil you. Call me soon. Bye." That was the message from Frida. They've been given 3 million. Her friend, who is a nurse at Ruiru Health Center, had stolen a kid. They've given it to an Indian family. She doesn't know I'm at Ruiru Health Center with my wife, and our newborn baby is missing for 2 hours now. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of my story. My name is Socrates. This is my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.